Hello. Okay, so I'm going to do my labor and delivery story. And then later on, I'll let you guys see Audrey, unless she wakes up in between. Then you guys will see her whenever. Um, so I literally just got home. It is. She's been sleeping forever, so she might wake up. I'm sorry. Um, it is 4:37 p.m. on July 30th. Um, I went into labor on July 25th. It was a Thursday. Yeah. At like 12 o'clock at night, like midnight. I was sleeping and I just got like intense back pain. And I didn't really know what it was because like I was expecting my contractions to be in the front. And I just got like this really intense, like tightening back pain. And I was like, okay, it's probably just a part of pregnancy. So then I tried to get to sleep, and at like 2, I woke up and got the same back pain. And I was like, oh, that's weird, but maybe it's just like another back pain, because that's 2 hours apart. So then at like 4, I got another one, and then at like 6 a.m., I got another one. They were like 2 hours apart. All that day on Friday, I had the same back pain. I was like, it was bearable. Like, I went out, and I think I went to Target, and I was walking, and I got another one, and I was like, oh man. And then like 15 minutes later, I had gotten another one. But whoa, let me back up. So Thursday night, I woke up, and I thought I was leaking my fluid, like my amniotic fluid. So I went to the hospital Friday morning before I did anything that day. I went to the hospital Friday morning, and I got tested. Like, they did that swab test to see if your fluid was leaking. And she was like, no, it's not your fluid. It's just, I don't know, mystery water. I don't know I don't remember what she said it was. But I was pissed. I was contracting 3 times in 1 hour. Like, so they were probably like 25 minutes apart. And then after me and my friend left the hospital, I was pissed, and I just came home and chilled all day, and then I went to Target, walking around, and they got like closer together, probably like 15 minutes apart. So I came home, and when I came home, I was like, well, I'm going to drink that tea, that red raspberry leaf tea. So I was drinking it, and I literally like went to go get in bed, and when I got in my bed, I got the worst contraction ever. Like, it was different than the ones that I was getting for the 2 days before. Like, it was just so different, and it like I had to like stop, and I couldn't really breathe. It like took my breath away. And I actually like got down on all fours and tried to get her to like move, because I thought that the weight was just like, you know how you get on all fours and it just makes you feel better when you're pregnant because all the weight's taken off your back. So, and that didn't do anything. So I got in my bed, I drank the whole thing of tea, and then I got another one like 4 minutes later. And in between that first one and that next one, the pain didn't really go away. It was like a dull lower back ache. And then when I'd get a contraction, it was like tight pressure all across my lower back, except for like mainly in the middle was like this huge ball of pressure. And it was kind of like someone like punching you over and over again in the back at this point, plus like tightening and pressure. So they were like 4 minutes apart with like a dull backache in between each one. Like, I never got a break. And then I laid in my bed and I tried to sleep, and by 12 o'clock, so midnight, so 24 hours later from when I got my first contraction, I couldn't do it anymore. They were like, I was guessing that they were 5 minutes apart. They were like 3 when I ended up getting to the hospital. So I texted my dad when I was in bed. I was crying. I texted my dad and I was like, hey, we need to go to the hospital. He was like, well, what's wrong? So I told him, because he's downstairs, I'm upstairs, and I couldn't get out of bed, so we were texting. And then God damn it. Then, my friend Carol came and picked me up. And she picked me and my dad up because my dad had been drinking and, like, I just didn't feel safe. We both didn't feel safe. And it was, like, a responsible decision to have her come and get me. So she came and got me. And we did take all my stuff, like my hospital bag, Audrey's diaper bag, the boppy pillow. We took everything with us because we pretty much knew, like, this was it. And we went to triage at my hospital. The lady checked me out, and then she told me that I was contracting every 2 minutes, and that they were going to keep me in triage for an hour, and in that hour, she wanted me to walk. So me and my friend Carol, my dad was in the waiting room. I tried to walk for an hour. I was not having it. I was, like, bending over, like, taking, like, second breaths because I couldn't catch my breath during a contraction. They felt like they were back to back, like, on top of each other. So I went back after walking for 15 minutes to triage, and I was like, look, lady, like, I can't do this. So, she was like, okay, that's fine. You can lay down. We'll be in a minute. And then all of a sudden, she comes into my room in triage with, like, an IV. And she was like, we're going to go ahead and admit you. And my heart dropped. Like, I was like, what? Like, so I'm going to have my baby? And she was like, yeah, today's the day or whatever. And I got so excited. Like, it was almost like the pain, it did not stop. It didn't stop, but it was like almost for a split second, I was just so happy and excited that I didn't care. And then we went upstairs to my labor and delivery room. And she took us upstairs. They hooked me up to fluid, like that salt water stuff. And I got my nurse. She was the best nurse I've ever had in my life. I got my nurse, and we were all just chilling, like, hanging out. I was 3 centimeters and 100% of face at that point. And then my nurse was like, all right, I'm going to check, or no, she was like, I'm going to call in, we're going to wait for you, no, okay. She was like, we're going to wait for your blood results to come back, and then if they're fine, we're going to call in the anesthesiologist to come get you your epidural. And I was like, all right, awesome. At this point, my contractions were really, really bad, but, like, I could still manage. Like, if someone were to ask me a question, I could still answer it. Or, you know, it was bad, but it wasn't, even with back labor, it wasn't as bad as I had imagined it, if I'm just gonna put it that way. So, okay, and then by 4 a.m., at 4 a.m. I got my epidural, which was not bad at all. It didn't hurt. It was just like a pinch at that point, and it wasn't bad. It feels weird when you're done. It feels like water's like going down your spine. It's like a really weird feeling when the medicine goes through. But anyways, so then I didn't feel anything from 4:30, I'd say, till about 11. I was just hanging out. Like, we slept, we just talked, everyone was in my room, like, we were just hanging out, like, having a party, waiting for Audrey. And then by about 11:15ish in the morning, I don't remember if you guys remember, I put on Instagram that my left hip is, like, really bad. Like, Audrey had been laying on it in a weird position, and by about 11:15, I could start to feel my contractions again. And at this point, I was on Pitocin. I labored until I was 7 centimeters on my own, and then they put me on Pitocin because, like, I was at 7 for, like, an hour and a half. So, they put me on Pitocin level 2, which is, like, nothing. So it was just a little bit to get me going. Well, so then I could start to feel it in my left hip and my left, like, lower back area, and I was like, hell no, because it was so intense, because I was, like, 8 centimeters dilated. and I was on Pitocin. So it was awful. Like, I was like, look, I started crying. Like, I was like holding onto the bed, like screaming. Not really screaming, but it was bad. So then they came in, a different anesthesiologist came in and shot up, like put like a, I forgot what it's called, it starts with a B, like a bogus dose, something like that. A bola dose, there we go. Put a bola dose into my epidural, which is just like another dose of like the medicine or whatever, or like a higher dose. And that worked for like 2 minutes literally, and then I felt them all again. So I was like, I'm not doing this without, you know, something, because I can't push. Like, I couldn't physically push with that pain. I would have died. So then this other anesthesiologist comes in, and it's the girl, and she's like, I understand what you're going through. Like, I had back labor. I understand. She's like, I'm going to put you on lidocaine. So she put me on lidocaine in my epidural, and I could not feel anything. I completely was so numb. I couldn't hold my own legs when I was pushing, because it, like, I was so numb, like, I cannot even describe it. So then they checked me literally right after I got the lidocaine, and I was 9.5 centimeters. And then we waited about 15 more minutes, and she was like, alright, it's time to start pushing. So the doctor came in, and we did a practice push, and you could see Audrey's head. So she was like, wow, I need to get my stuff ready. She put on like her scrub coat. They laid the thing across my belly, like the blanket thing for Audrey, and I had my friend Carol, my friend Jennifer, and my sister Emily in the room, and they held my legs for me. I pushed 5 times for 15 minutes, like 15 minutes total, 5 times, and Audrey was born at 12:35 p.m. on her due date, July 27, 2013. She weighed 8 pounds 4 ounces, and she was 20.5 inches long. So she's a big girl, but now she's 7 pounds 11 ounces because she had really bad jaundice. And yeah, so that's my labor and delivery story. I want you guys to see her, but she's sleeping. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Okay, I guess I'll just hold on 1 second. I'm gonna grab her. 1 second. Okay. Hold on. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see her. She's not very happy. I just woke her up. This is Audrey. She's sleeping. She's really little. Do you guys see that bump on the back of her head? She came out so fast that it was like fluid and blood like pushed up to her head so quick because she came out so fast. She's knocked out. It is 4:50. She's literally been sleeping since like 10 o'clock this morning, which means no sleep for mommy tonight. Baby kisses are the best. But anyways, I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life. Being a mom is awesome. And I just love her so much. And she's a pro at breastfeeding, so no worries there. And that's pretty much it. So I will make a video when she's actually awake to show you guys her face, because it's so cute. And yes, she looks exactly like me. She is my twin completely. She has like a little bit of characteristics of her dad, but close to none, which is exactly what we wanted. Oh, booger. So I'll make a video soon, And I'll show you guys Audrey's little face because it's cute. And bye for now. Say bye-bye. Bye, guys.